Good morning. Welcome to the Long Live Alternative Parties podcast. Free Press Media Press Inc., an alternative parties books publisher, sponsors this podcast. I'm Andrew Bouchard.
Welcome to Long Live Alternative Parties podcast. Today we have Alfred Molison. He is running for office, and he's going to talk to us about exciting things he's doing. So welcome to the podcast, Alfred.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
We're glad to have you. Let us get started by you kindly giving us an introduction to yourself, a brief biographical sketch.
Hi, I'm Alfred Molison. I am formerly of the Social Security Administration. I worked for 23 years at the 1-800 number for the Social Security Administration. So I talk to America and help people apply for disability, retirement, survivor's benefit. And it was the most rewarding, positive job I've ever had in my life. And I want to continue my public service by running for Commissioner of the General Land Office for Texas.
Okay. Sounds good. So what led you to get involved in the Green Party in particular?
Well, I have actually had a wild ride, if you will. I was I guess I'll give away my age. I was a supporter of Bill Clements when he was running for governor. He would have been the first Republican governor since Reconstruction at the time. I was in high school, and I liked him. Now, later on, when I went to the University of Texas at Austin, I joined the Democratic Party. But I realized, you know what? These guys are the establishment, and they are used to being in power, and they don't represent much of anything. There's no belief system there. And later on, I joined the Republicans because they did have a very good belief system there. Now, to my great regret, years later, once I came back to Houston and was no longer surrounded by Austin Republicans, I was surrounded by real Republicans. I realized I have no home in that party, and the Green Party is where I found a home.
Interesting.
It helped that my first wife, Judith Miller, had introduced me to people who are in the peace community, peace and justice-oriented groups. And in fact, I'm serving on the board of the Houston Peace and Justice Center right now.
Huh. That's good. So since you worked at the SSA, how did that inform your political beliefs? Did it change anything? Did it encourage you in any direction or another? How did it affect your political consciousness?
It definitely pushed me more towards the Green Party than I already was. The ideals that the Green Party espouses are kind of like what originated the Social Security Administration. Basically, making sure that everybody is taken care of, making sure that everybody is not sleeping on the streets, and the way it was originally envisioned, it was not just not sleeping on the streets, but also not starving and not freezing in their home. In other words, you could actually live off of your Social Security. Now, that has completely changed, and we need a social safety net that really does hold everyone. And, we need to move back towards that. My ideal would be a New Deal mentality with the expansion of expensive programs that LBJ had under the Great Society, and as well funded as they were under Nixon. If we had those programs, I think that would do a whole lot of good for everybody.
Sure. So the land commissioner position that you're running for, kindly explain to our audience what that office is responsible for and the responsibilities of that office.
Yes, the General Land Commissioner, amongst their duties, they include managing the public lands for the state of Texas. And if there's some oil under there, especially like in West Texas, then if there are some royalties to be collected for the state, then the land commissioner collects that and turns that money over to the state. Also, the land commissioner deals with land titles. And in my mind, there's a big scandal involving the, how would you say, the repossession of people's, mortgage defaults. And I think that that's going to be a recurring scandal unless we deal with it in some kind of way. But mostly they deal with that, the oil royalties. They also deal tangentially with the windmill farms that are all along the coast and up in West Texas. And also they have a fund which helps Texas veterans pay for housing. In other words, own their own home.
Huh.
Okay. And one of my ideas, and I do emphasize, is that it is an idea. It is not something that is specifically written into the, the job description of the land office. The idea I have is to improve the efficiency of the funds that go out to Texas veterans and others by setting up a public bank. And the public bank would help with the energy infrastructure or moving us towards a more renewable energy system, and even improving the system with the regular oil and gas situation, making it less polluting. Now, that's if we get the funds to do that, of course. All of that has to go through the state legislature. It is an idea which has to be negotiated, presented before the public. No funny business. I want to make sure that everyone sees what's going on, what the idea is, and give them details. And people can make a democratic judgment for themselves and influence the legislature in that way.
Sure. So how do you plan to implement a green vision and the green values in your position?
Well, again, it's the public banking thing, which will help with infrastructure, better financing of housing, not just for veterans, but hopefully an expansion of who and how we're helping people to own homes, especially renewable energy and anything along the lines of sustainable energy. Anything that can move us towards reducing the pollution of our current system would be helpful. And whenever it comes to oil and gas, the savings are there that will make oil and gas production actually more profitable if we make it less polluting.
Huh.
So those are some of the green values that I'm talking about.
Okay. So when is the election? Is that in 2022 in November, or when is it?
Yes, November, the second Tuesday in November. I'm sorry, I've forgotten the exact date, but it's 2022 this year. But before that, there's a hurdle to get through, and you may know about this. I am the openly uncloseted stealth candidate for the Green Party as land commissioner. I'm one of the few who was unable to afford the $3,750 fee that it takes to run for public office now at the state level. And, I will be setting up a website to raise some funds, but I just want people to know that. And I am on the list, but, am I really? It's going to take some court action. You might know that they changed the laws, which incidentally allowed the Green Party to get onto the ballot. It wasn't actually something we asked for, but here we are. And in the entire state, I'm afraid only 3 people applied to run as Greens. And I think that most of us are middle class or even working class or poor. And, raising that $3,750 is something that is not a lot of people have that kind of money to just put their hands on immediately when it
Sure.
comes to running for public office.
Sure. So what is your campaign strategy? How are you going to get the word out?
Setting up a website, asking for donations, also showing up wherever I can to as a candidate to speak, and also doing podcasts and YouTube videos, or if not YouTube, then other sources.
Sure. So who is your target audience? What type of voter are you trying to reach?
Anybody who's willing to listen. I think that if you are in the oil and gas industry, or you have some connection to that, you want to see the oil and gas last a little bit longer, be a lot less polluting, and that means that you're going to be having a job or a business longer than if we go under the current system. It may be a conservative argument that I'm making, but I think it's a legitimate one, in that becoming more energy efficient, becoming less polluting, will improve the economy in Texas, and it will also make the oil and gas last a lot longer.
Sure. Do you have a campaign staff, or are you doing this all by yourself?
No, I have a campaign staff. I have a campaign manager, and she's doing the filing of all the legal documents. You have to report how much you've spent, how much you're bringing in donations, all of that. So I'm very lucky on that.
Good, good. So how are you motivating your staff?
Just talking with them. We see the crisis that's out here. And I'm sorry, I forgot to mention another thing. The land commissioner has something to do, and I'm still pinning it down, something to do with the ports and also the intracoastal waterway. And basically, I'm very concerned about whether the sea level is rising, and is that going to be affecting not only the ports along the coast of Texas, but also the oil and gas industry along the coast. And that's something that we definitely need to study. And I ask that anybody who is in any way a scientist to look around for data on whether or to what degree the sea level is rising. Maybe it's all my imagination. Maybe the sea level isn't rising. Maybe it's all just some big hullabaloo that somebody's made up. I don't think so. I think that the science is real and it's there, but satisfy yourself by taking a look at whatever information is out there. It's going to affect everybody along the Gulf Coast. It's going to affect everybody around the entire world.
Sure. So how has the reception been to the campaign? Are people supportive of it? Is different parts of society supportive and not? How is it going with that?
Yes. So far it's been supportive. Now, understand though, like I said, since I'm like kind of like a, that openly stealth candidate aspect thing, it's like the Greens are enthusiastic, especially because we think we have a chance in the courts to get me on the ballot. But, I have not done the legwork yet to get that website up and do the other promotion things yet. So, we're in the early stages of the campaign. I have some time. I'm just looking forward to it and bringing things out before the public.
Sure. So what's in the future for the campaign between now and the election? What are you trying to do?
Website, donations, speaking engagements, podcasts, and video casts, and in with as many people as I can, doing the print setup. Everything's electronic, yes, but we are still in the print age, and people appreciate having a brochure from the candidate or a door hanger and other things.
Sure. So you're going to get some of those out to your area.
Yes.
That's good. So for our audience out there who may live in Texas or not, I live in Texas and they might also live in Texas, how can they support your campaign?
When the website goes up, I hope that you will donate. And if we have some big major volunteer event, I hope that you will take the time to show up, whether you're just traveling through Texas or if you are here living in Texas.
All right. Sounds good. So audience out there, you can do that when he puts up the website. So they can be looking forward to that website for it coming out.
Yes. And if you look up my name, Alfred Molison, that's Molison. You can find some different things on me. I've run for public office before. It's not a bad habit, but it's a fun habit.
Yes. So
I
what other?
get to meet people. Yes.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So what other offices have you ran for before?
I've run for city council. I ran for city council at large here in Houston, and then twice as a district candidate. And the last time I ran, they knocked me off of the ballot.
Oh no.
Yeah, I had all the signatures necessary, but then they disappeared the signatures at the city hall.
Ugh.
And yeah, it was a real stomach churner there. But in any case, I got on as a write-in candidate, and then 150 people dialed my name in. You have to do this little dial thing with the voting machines, and they put in my full name to vote for me. And I'm appreciative and grateful, and it's like, I think it should be easy for people to run for public office, and also for people to get information on those candidates who are running for public office.
Yes. Yes, let's hope one day soon it will be.
Yeah.
All right, Alfred, thank you for coming on the podcast and sharing your campaign strategy and all the great things you're doing for the campaign. We appreciate hearing about that.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. And I wish you the best on your show.
Yes, and we wish you the best in your campaign and all your other endeavors.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Appreciate it.
take care. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Take care.